We all know Election Day is coming up, but choosing our next president isn't the only big decision we have to make. In California, there's a ballot measure that has national implications, and this time it's not about pop. I'm talking about Proposition 37, an initiative to require companies to label their food that has been genetically modified. We're going to sit down with Max Fulmer from Take Part. He's going to talk to us a little bit about why this proposition affects us on a national level and not just a state one. Hey Max, thanks for sitting down with us today.
No problem.
All right, so we're here today to talk about Prop 37. It's a big issue on the California ballot. And what is Prop 37?
Well, Prop 37 essentially is a ballot measure that is going to be voted on November 6th in California that would prohibit the sale of foods that contain genetically modified ingredients unless they're labeled right there on the packaging. Genetically modified ingredients, or GMOs, are essentially plants and animals that have been created in a lab using gene splicing techniques that would make them more resistant to herbicides and pesticides. Essentially, it would make it easier for food companies to grow them without all the hassle of them, dying, withering on the vine.
So why is this important?
Well, it's important because consumers right now are expressing a lot of interest in knowing exactly what's in the food that they're buying and the food that they're consuming. And a lot of people have questions about whether GMOs are safe. There are no long-term studies that show any negative health consequences. There are some short-term studies in animals that link consumption of GMOs to organ failure, tumors, miscarriages. Essentially, it's too soon to know.
A lot of other countries in the world are actually having their products labeled if they have GMOs. Why do other countries do it and we're not doing it?
Here in the US, we have a very powerful food agribusiness lobby, and when genetic modification and genetic engineering first became popular a few decades ago, there was a big push at the Food and Drug Administration to not require this kind of labeling. And we even see here in California, with the Prop 37 fight, about $36 million have been spent so far to fight Prop 37.
But 5 times more money being spent to fight it than has been spent for the campaigns supporting it.
Right, exactly. This is all a question of major corporations' bottom line.
And if you're spending that much money trying to fight it, it means you're making a whole lot more by having it not go through.
I mean,
theoretically. One would assume that they're smart business people.
I mean, if you think about it, between 85 and 95% of the corn and the soybeans in the US today is genetically modified. We're talking about ingredients that are in products on every grocery shelf in America.
So how does this affect us on a national level? California is, it's one state, but what happens if it goes through?
Well, California is a very large state, and it's a very large food market, and it's hard to believe that the major food companies in America are going to pull products from their shelves in California but still sell them in 49 other states.
Or label them differently in 49 states.
Or label them differently, exactly, in 49 other states. Whether Prop 37 passes or fails could be a huge indicator of the direction food consumers are going in the United States.
So who's against the bill?
Right now you've seen General Mills, PepsiCo, Nestle, Coca-Cola, sort of the big players that you would expect.
Monsanto's the really big one.
Monsanto also is a major opponent of Prop 37. They've all come out against it. But you also see some sort of marquee brands that are in favor of Prop 37.
Such as?
Chipotle, Sharky's Mexican Grill, Stonyfield Farms, Organic Valley. These are brand names that you recognize on the grocery store shelves who say, hey, we've got no problem with Prop 37.
One of the things they're talking about in the ads against Prop 37 is that food costs could go up.
Right. That has been a major argument. I haven't been able to find any nonpartisan sources who say, yes, food prices will definitively rise if Prop 37 passes.
I mean, if I were in charge of trying to make this not go through, I would definitely say that it was going to make prices go up.
It makes total sense.
Whether it's true or not, I would say that.
Yeah.
So what else does it do in terms of, are there any sort of ancillary benefits to this going through?
People don't quite trust their food sources anymore. And so this idea of labeling that's coming up with Prop 37 is part of that discussion. People really want to be certain. And so even if Prop 37 goes down in California in November, it's clear that this issue isn't going away and that food companies and farmers are going to have to find a way to address the public's concerns.
And ultimately, I think, at the end of the day, people talking about what's going into their bodies and raising the national discussion is, I think, good for everybody. And that's sort of how democracy works.
Exactly.
Hey, Max, thank you very much. It was a real pleasure.
It's been a pleasure.
I'll see you guys next Friday, right here on The Food Feeder. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on next week's show.
What? Slimy sea urchins can get you high and it's an aphrodisiac? What more could you ask for? Find out if it really works on Why Would You Eat That? Or if totally awesome, mind-boggling, slow-motion extreme explosions are more your speed, find out what we're blowing up this week on Taste Explosions. On Star Chef Secrets, you can learn how to take Latin cuisine to a whole new level with spectacular creative dishes by all-star chef John Sedlar. And Oktoberfest may be over, but that doesn't mean we can't still guzzle beer along with delicious homemade pretzels, courtesy of the Dude Food Dudes. What about an incredible chocolate pudding and bacon custard concoction? Join Chef Kevin Gillespie in his never-ending pursuit for the best in bacon. Can the Why Would You Eat That boys trick Georgia into eating what she thinks is a delicious burrito? What are they serving up this time on Why Would You Eat That? Add some spice to life with the Food Network's Hot Tamales. They'll teach you all you need to know about prepping for a fabulous Mexican fiesta. Get the recipe for an over-the-top BLT sandwich with an awesome Dude Food twist. Swordfish. Learn how to upgrade your BLT to a killer surf and turf masterpiece. And who wants to taste a nauseatingly bad-smelling food? The Office does. Watch your favorite employees attempt stinky tofu on Why Would You Eat That?